Kuns in Vermaak met Marianah Lourens. Yes, Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment. But our interview will be in English today, and I'm excited. We're outside of the Savoy here today, and we're having our interview for Matilda, the musical. And I am with some of the leads here. Bennie.
Hi there.
And Vanessa.
Hello.
Because that was Bennie Gerber, and this is Vanessa Grebe. The two G's. Ooh. And then I've got the B, Vanessa Barnard. Oh, Vanessa. No, I didn't rebaptize you.
That's
It is Gemma. It's our beautiful Gemma. And they are all leads in Matilda. So I think I'm going to start with you, Gemma, because you're the kind, beautiful one in Matilda.
The nice one.
The nice one.
Out of the three of us.
You Miss Honey.
Yes.
For those who don't know the story without giving the game away,
Yes.
who is Miss Honey?
So, Miss Honey is, to put it very frank, she is Matilda's teacher. She ends up being a very crucial part in Matilda's life. Well, she's not just Matilda's teacher, she's a group of students' teachers, obviously. But obviously she plays a very important role in Matilda's life and the story itself. And I don't want to give it away because by saying what I want to say is just going to spoil the whole thing. But we learn throughout the entire show how much of a part that Miss Honey plays in Matilda's journey of the actual story. And there's a lot of intertwining that goes on. It's quite beautiful.
And of course, as for the role of Matilda, there are 3 actresses and they are going to take turns in being Matilda. They're not here today. Then we get to Vanessa. Now, Vanessa, you miss Mrs. Wormwood. Oh. Where shall we begin with Mrs. Wormwood?
Well, Mrs. Wormwood, I must say, it's quite exciting and it's a nice stretching challenge for me to play someone completely out of my character. So the long and short of it, Mrs. Wormwood is horrible. She's just horrible. She's mean, she's nasty, horrible, as she would say in her accent. She's nasty, she's obnoxious, she's brassy, she's selfish, and she's actually just a big spoiled brat. She's a kid.
She never grew up?
Exactly. And she's very superficial. She cares about money. She's all about glamour and makeup and hair dye. And she's just a horrible mother. She's not a mother, basically.
Yes, possibly because she was never mothered. So she doesn't know how to mother.
Most likely.
Most likely. We don't actually know what the reason was for Matilda, because Matilda was brilliant, and we'll save that for another day, that story. And come and see the show if you want to see the Matilda character. And then, Bennie, of course, you Mr. Wormwood.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
Yes, indeed I am. And, oh, my word. So, you see, the problem is, because I've been rehearsing for so long, I need to keep the Cockney accent before I lose it. But, yes, Mr. Wormwood is actually, obviously, Mrs. Wormwood's husband and Matilda's father. Well, he's not really a father to her, because he keeps calling her boy. Look, they already have a son, Michael, which is it wrong if I say he's a vegetable? He just sits there and he just sits in front of the TV and does nothing. And this dumb son of mine is Mr. Wormwood's pride and joy. And he doesn't give a damn about
because he's
Matilda.
A boy.
Because he's a boy. So yes, and Mr. Wormwood is this scheming, suave, kind of like second-hand business, a car dealership man. And he's always scheming and Mrs. Wormwood is just spending all the money he's making out of these schemes. So, yeah, we don't really have a loving relationship. We're just all-round nasty people.
Okay, yeah, and it all comes through. It's not a secret, so we don't have to keep it a secret. Miss Honey is totally the opposite.
It's in her name, almost.
Yes, Miss Honey.
It's
exactly.
In her name. Sweetness and
Dahl,
gentleness, yeah.
who wrote the story, he put the characters in the names.
Yeah.
Because Miss Trunchbull was the headmistress of the school. I mean, Trunchbull, what a name. I'm so glad I don't have a name like that. So the name Miss Honey just oozes through. It's sweet as the honey. And it's just an amazing story of how people relate to one another and the influence they have, even when there's evil in the world.
And doing what's right.
Yes. And doing what's right is the message that comes through, because things are just not right sometimes. And of course the children in this school that's another thing because there's some little characters there. But you'll have to come and see the show, and it's going to be at the Savoy, and it's going to be from the 21st of September until the 8th of October, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And tickets at Web Tickets, I believe.
Yes.
As well as Pick and Pay.
Yes.
As well as Pick and Pay.
And they need to remember that there are 3 different children's casts. So the leads will be on every night, but every third night there will be a different Matilda and a different children's cast as
yes,
well.
because there are 3 teams
Yes, 3
of
teams.
children.
If I can jump on that, what's really lovely about that is that you'll find no 3 teams are the same. Everyone is bringing something different to every little character that they're playing, so you're just going to have to come watch it 3 times.
Absolutely.
Yes, because the leads rehearse 3 times.
Yes, come on.
Everything 3 times.
Yes, and of course there are matinees to bring the kids.
And Granny.
And the grannies,
Yes.
don't
Granny
forget.
and Grandpa.
Oh, grandpas,
And Grandpa.
Granny, Grandpa, your aunt, your uncle, everybody, your brother, your sister, bring them because this is a show not to miss. And as I say, that Roald Dahl, he's just one of those different guys. All the leads are protagonists, you can say, because each one of them is very important.
And they're all larger than life. That's
Yes.
that's the beauty of Roald Dahl's writing, is all his characters basically jump out of the book, and that's basically what we're doing on stage. His characters are larger
Coming
than
to
life,
life.
so
Yes.
it's really entertaining from the youngest, I would say from 3 to 4 year olds up until 80, 90-year-olds can come and watch this.
90-year-olds
It's really a
will
family show.
appreciate it. Everybody can appreciate it. But just to get now to the people, Gemma, we've been in a few shows together since you were at school, and we're too many to mention. Sometimes we were just in the
We were there.
ensemble, but we were
there together.
But of course, then you started shining with your voice because she sings. And you've been studying at AFTA, and now you teach at AFTA.
Yes, I graduated last year from my honours year. So I studied for 4 years at AFTA. I studied live performance, sort of trained in stage and screen acting. And then from there, I found myself actually playing around in the film industry a bit now in terms of the sort of disciplines in there. So writing, editing, those kind of things. And I'm currently lecturing at AFTA. I sort of take care of all my first years. So it's quite interesting because Miss Honey takes care of her little grade 1s and I take care of my first years. It's a big age gap, but it's quite nice. There's that little similarity.
And of course, you also work in Robin's shows, lots of Robin's
Yes.
shows at school,
Yes.
at Theodore.
Yeah, I graduated from Theodore and I trained under Robin for a good number of years and all sorts. So
Yes, and Robin
Yes.
Williams, of course, she directs Matilda, the show. So we are actually have been under her direction before. Bennie, we were together in a number of shows that Robin directed.
How many years ago?
Many years ago.
ago.
I don't even want to go back that. I don't even know how many
15,
years.
15 to 20 years. Yeah,
Possibly, it could be almost 20 years
Yes,
that
yes.
we've acted together.
Footloose, that's where we met.
Yes, Footloose, and that's more than 15 years ago, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So, yes, so Bennie, your training, you went to school, I know you're from Craddock.
Yes. But I think I've been in PE long enough to say that I'm a Gebegen or a Barnard or whatever you want to call it. But yes, I mean, like my parents said, I do have a real job, but you know, this is where I just have fun because this is my passion ultimately. So it was tough during COVID, not doing any shows, but I've kept myself busy with some other projects and some corporate theatre. But yes, it's nice to be back on stage. And an interesting story is just before COVID, myself, Vanessa and Gemma did Showtime in January, and then we were all 3 leads in Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
And they closed Romeo and Juliet down with lockdown. So this is actually a lovely little family reunion.
Isn't that wonderful?
The 3 of us, and we were all 3 so nervous because we all went into the audition knowing exactly which roles we wanted.
Yes.
And we were doubting whether we were going to get it, and all 3 of us got exactly what we wanted. So it's
And
actually a lovely
Yes,
be
now
working with.
everybody's just having theatre, so we spoiled for choice now.
And I mean, our
Going to
production
theatre.
team is insane. I mean, I've been doing this for 20, 25 years, and to this day, I learn something new. I mean, if we look at just Ian van Memmet, who did the vocal training with
100%.
us,
It was awesome.
it was insane.
Yes,
I mean,
yes. And like Gemma, of course, you also the triple threat who can dance, sing, and act.
Yes.
And of course, he's also can do choreo.
Yes.
He can do choreo. And he can do lots of other things. But we won't go there now. That's
Yes.
for later
Yes,
interviews.
yes,
We're
yes.
talking about Matilda now. Vanessa. Now I think I remember you from seeing you with Gary Emmings.
I did some backing vocals for Centre Stage.
Centre Stage.
Yes,
That's the name
yes.
I'm trying to get
Yeah, that was
onto.
quite some time ago.
That was 20 years ago, possibly more. I don't know.
Yeah. That was the last
look at
count.
Marianah giving our ages away here on,
What
on
about
air.
my age? I was already a granny then.
You're timeless, love. You're
20
timeless.
years back in my life just
I'm
yet.
their granny. And yes, so Vanessa, you also the triple threat. You move, you sing, you act.
Yes.
And where did it begin for Vanessa?
So I was quite a late starter, and I did my first show at the age of 19 because someone heard me sing and said, hey, you should do a show. And it was never really a talent that I had developed or worked on. And Robin actually saw me in one of the show times, and she cast me as Sandy in Greece. I was 21, so I'm not going to give my age away, but no, it's cool. That's about 20 years ago.
So then you gave your age away.
Yes, so she took me under her wing, and she directed me in Greece, and I played opposite her son, Gareth Williams. He was Danny.
Yes.
And that's where it started for me. And since then, I went on to do quite a number of productions. So there was a good couple of years in my life where I did show after show. Some of my highlights was playing Maria in The Sound of Music, opposite Paul Leonard. And then I also did Miss Adelaide, which was my first comedy role ever in Guys and Dolls. And it's quite funny.
What a resume.
So it's quite funny. Quite a number of people who know me because I haven't been on stage in a while. So
We missed you.
yeah, so like doing Romeo and Juliet with Bennie and Gemma, it was kind of like the first time I'd been on stage in a very long time because I took a long break, and quite a few people thought, they were like, oh, you're playing Miss Honey, because people naturally assume that's sort of
You look-
more
could-
like me.
You could.
And because I
Vice
played
versa.
the Sandys and the Marias, etc., they're typical sort of classic
Dumb blonde
soft,
roles?
no, soft. But,
Shut up, Benny. Go away.
but my love for comedy in musical theatre started when Robin cast me as Miss Adelaide in Guys and Dolls, because it wasn't a role that I went for. I was actually going for Sarah Brown, and Robin's like, no, you're going to play Adelaide. And I was like, I didn't think I could do it. And so Mrs. Wormwood she's definitely up a few notches. She's a little bit more hectic than
What
Adelaide.
a challenge.
It is a challenge. And what's great is my singing is really, it's not pretty. So it's weird not to be having to
Pretty
be so
and
worried.
polished,
Pretty and
as all your
polished.
other roles
but
were.
so my character is crazy and a little bit common, and
Yes, and that is what of course,
brassy.
the appeal is in the show.
And legs for days.
of
Oh my
Matilda.
word. You must see it
listen.
when she's doing those ballroom scenes in Matilda.
Oh,
it's
listen.
just
Oh,
legs
stop,
for days.
stop.
Very, very sexy.
So much to look forward to. Now, of course, we have to, first of all, say, please don't worry. We've got the background noises here. It's all sound effects. Of,
Live.
Yeah, live outside a theatre. And cars are coming and going and up and downing. And, of course, they're revving. Oh, and no.
Please think of us. We've got an 8-hour rehearsal ahead
Yeah,
of
it's
us.
a long day today.
Just for you guys.
Big one.
We have an 8-hour rehearsal. I'm like a blade of grass in Matilda, like nothing, really. Just if you blink, you'll miss me on the stage, but I'm part of the ensemble, so I'm looking forward to it. But yes, just remember, 21st of September to the 8th of August, web tickets.
October.
8th of October.
Unless you want to go back in time.
Yes, no. We want to go the 21st of September to the 8th of October. Web tickets on your system, just web tickets.
Online,
You
yes.
just print it, put it in when you get to you'll see tickets. Or at Pick and Pay, and of course, and on web tickets, you'll see the matinees, you'll see the times, you'll see everything
And
there.
which cast,
Yeah,
which team
and
will be
which
on.
teams and so on. It's quite a lot of information. So I'm looking forward to seeing you at the theatre. And yeah, what can I say? Let's break the legs. Thank you so much, Gemma, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa, for coming.
Thank you, Marianah.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having
Bennie,
us.
for coming.
Always a pleasure.
And yes, let us just go and do our rehearsals. Blessings to you all. And it is from Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment saying goodbye for now. Ja, Marianah Lourens en Kuns en Vermaak en Marianah Lourens wat nou groet met Arrivari.